Hey everybody, tonight I have got a big video for you. I think there's right around 30 fragrances, maybe it's 28, from the House of Dumont. I'm going to be ranking these in order of worst to best, or really my least favorite to favorite. And so we're going to be going through a lot of fragrances. We're going to try to move quickly. I'm going to tell you what they are inspired by, or at least what they are similar to. And I want to say this right at the outset, that once we get past the first 6, 7, something like that, I begin to really like these fragrances. I mean, the last like 5, 6, any of them could just about be swapped out depending on what's the weather outside, what kind of mood am I in. Pretty much the mid section, so like the middle, I don't know, 10 or 20, I like all of them. So this is one of those where you'll know why I'm not a huge fan of the first few. Then we start getting into some that I actually do like quite a bit, and then I'll be probably gushing over the last 10 or so, just giving you a heads up where we're headed. But remember to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Remember to give a click to the like button if you like the video, and let me know down below what is your personal favorite Dumont fragrance, if you've even tried any, and if you haven't, you probably should after you see this video. Now, throughout this video, there's a lot of sub-brands of Dumont. I didn't even realize this a few months back, but there's a ton of sub-brands, and there's a lot of Dumont fragrances I don't have. So these are only ones that I have, some of which I've purchased, a bunch actually that the brand sent me, and I am doing a giveaway. So stay tuned to the end. I'm going to tell you how you can win one of these fragrances. Here we go. Let us begin. First, this is inspired by Herba Pura, and I think it might be Herba Pura with a splash of something. This is Traidor Intenso, and this one in particular is actually a really good dupe of Herba Pura, but Herba Pura in this form, just the regular sweet fruity, I just don't wear it. It's a little too maybe feminine for me. Something about it just doesn't really jive with me. It's actually a great fragrance. I'm going to give it to my mother-in-law. She really loves it. So Traidor Intenso. This is actually a good fragrance, just not one that I love. Next up, this is another one that's very well done, a very strong, accurate representation of Parfums de Marly Cologne. It's just lower in the list because I'm not a big fan of Cologne. I don't personally like to wear it that much. And so this is Bravano Converge. I'll put the name of the sub-brands on the screen as we go. Excuse me. This is Bravano Converge, and you're talking citrus, saffron, earthiness, a little bit of something waxy or lipsticky, but it's not iris. So again, Bravano Converge, that's number 2. The third one, this is one I actually probably should have put first. I started from the wrong end. First as in lowest on the totem pole, because I do not like the original or this dupe. This is actually Ormond Jane's Mon Tobacco. This is Dumont's version. This is Solario Elisium. And everything I've seen online is this is a very good dupe of Mon Tobacco. It's kind of a dry, not sweet, earthy kind of tobacco. It's in the same style as something like Santal 33, but I don't really like that one either. Just not really my jam, but Solario Elisium. All right, next up, this is one that is actually a dupe of a fragrance I like, but I have a dupe that I like better, so I haven't worn this one much, but it's thick, it's strong, it is a powerful representation of Creed, Silver Mountain Water. This is Exciting Absolute. And if you want a thicker, richer take on Silver Mountain Water, this is a really good option. You know, I just really like the old-fashioned Club de Nuit Sillage. It's actually a little lighter, and I prefer that, but not a bad dupe of Silver Mountain Water right here. All right, next. This one is in the same line as that one. And this is a good fragrance. I actually do like it. So already we're getting into things that I like. I just like the ones in front of it better for one reason or another. This one is a dupe of Paco Rabanne's Black XS, and it's actually pretty good, and I've worn it a couple times already. This is exciting, intense, nothing wrong with it. I do think these exciting fragrances are maybe a lower tier of Dumont's fragrances, but nothing really smells cheap about it. Not a big alcohol blast. It's actually pretty good if you like Black XS. Next up, this one is a clone slash twist on Armani Code, the original. And so this is Soprano Elite. And I've worn this one a couple times since I got it, and it's been a long time since I've worn the original Code. I think I associate it with being old school or something like that. But this is actually pretty good. And if you like that DNA, this is a strong, long-lasting version of that DNA. So check it out, Soprano Elite. I'm trying to go fast because we got a whole bunch of them to go through here. Again, we're starting to get into stuff already that's pretty good. This one, Traidor Melodia, is actually a dark, leathery, oudy, incensey fragrance. This is like a, night out, formal wear, date night fragrance. It is, I would say, a little on the edges. It's a little more challenging, a little more daring. But if you're going out somewhere, you want something interesting, this would be one to break out for sure. Traidor Melodia. All right. Next up, we're going to go with one again. That is a good fragrance. This one is an alternative to a popular fragrance that came out from Lattafa, Caed Alfersen. This is just a better version. It doesn't have the bitterness of the Lattafa, and it's more pineapple, a little more richness. It's a great fragrance, Nitro Platinum. I got no complaints. I just like the ones later on in the video better. But it's a great pineapple and woods fragrance. All right, next we'll go with this one right here, which is a twist on Paco Rabanne Invictus, almost like a blue fragrance smashed with Invictus. And again, this is a great fragrance. We're not even halfway through yet, and this is one that I would say most of you would probably like this. So it's Invictus, but not quite as bubblegummy. It is rich, it is thick, as most of these fragrances are, and just a little bit more of sort of a freshness and a little bit more mature than the original Invictus. All right, next. This is going to be shocking to some of you, and the only reason this one's so low on the list is because there are others that have a similar DNA that I think improve upon this DNA. I'm talking about this one right here. It's great. Nitro Red from Dumont. This one kind of took everybody by storm. It's like Invictus Aqua smashed with BR540. It's great. It's really good. And right as I started to get into this one, I started to find some of these others here. All right, next I'll mention, who knows what number. This is like, I don't know, 12-ish, 10. This one is a twist on Ultramall by Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is Nitro Green, and this is sort of a less sweet version of Ultramall. So it's actually still really good. There's barely any of a green hint in this, but it is a lighter, not weaker, but just a lighter take on that DNA. It's actually really good stuff. Vanilla and fruits, Nitro Green. Okay, next. This one is a twist on 1 Million Lucky. This is Soprano Soul. And so 1 Million Lucky is a pretty ozonic fragrance, and then it's got some sweetness. It's also got not a chestnut, but a hazelnut, I believe it is. And so this one has all of that. It's got the fruity sweetness, the nuttiness, but not much of the ozonic nature. I like this one. I think I like Emperor Genius Metallic more, but it's still really good stuff. And man, all of these are thick and powerful. So that one is Soprano Soul. All right, next. This one, early in the list, we've got a really good dupe of Aventus, and there's a couple more Aventus dupes that are going to come up in this list. I would probably put Nitro Intense right here. It's a muskier take on Aventus, and it's strong. And I actually gave it away to one of you. Now, right after Nitro Intense, I would have Nitro Black, and it's pretty much just straight down the line Aventus. And it's great. It's long lasting. It's got good projection. It's an inexpensive, great clone of Invictus Nitro Black. All right, next we shall go with, it's hard to choose the order here. I think next I'll go with this one. This one, a rep from the brand told me that this is a twist on Mancera Cedrat Boisé. This is Bravano Imperial, and it's like a more musky take on Cedrat Boisé. It's got, it's almost like it's got a splash of Invictus in there. So it's just a little bit of a different take. I've already got the Mancera. I've got a really good dupe, so I just haven't really worn this one much. I like Cedrat Boisé as is, but if you don't have it yet, or if you want something that's a little twist, this one right here would be a great option, Bravano Imperial. Okay, we're getting into some really good stuff here. This, I mean, I almost can't choose, and I'm not being dramatic, but I love this fragrance. This fragrance is awesome. It's a twist on Parfums de Marly Pegasus. It's Nitro Blue. And basically, this fragrance right here, to me, is like Parfums de Marly Pegasus with Dolce & Gabbana The One. That sort of tobacco, spiced, powdery vibe from The One comes out towards the end of the wearing of this fragrance, couple hours in. And so, man, it's really good stuff. Highly, highly recommend it if you like Pegasus. All right, next. This is one that knocked Nitro Red out of its place for me. This stuff is awesome. This is Dumont Scleroup Pour Homme. And, man, it's a really good take on Nitro Red. 2/3 of the fragrance is the same as Nitro Red, but instead of having the kind of Invictus Aqua bubblegum sweetness in the front half of the fragrance, there is this rich fruitiness, almost like a grape juice kind of fruitiness. And something about the texture reminds me of like the sugary glaze on a donut. I know that sounds weird, but we do the best we can trying to describe something without you being able to actually smell it. But a very sweet, very powerful take on Nitro Red with a little fruity twist. Scapler, this is really good stuff right here. We're continuing to just talk about some absolute bangers here. I think next I'll talk about this one. This is a really good take on Invictus. This may be an extrait de parfum. I think it is. Don't quote me on that. It's at least like parfum. This is like a 12-hour take on Invictus. This is Solario Oros. And to me, this one's got a little bit of a Hasavat vibe, and there's another one that does as well. But, you know, those two fragrances have similarities. They're both awesome, versatile, and man, this is a powerful take on that DNA. Solario Oros. Really good stuff right there. I think next we will go with, let's go with this one. This is Baroud Sillage, and it is their take on Angel Share. It's a little bit of an airier version of Angel Share. It's not so heavy. It's not quite as sweet or boozy, but it's like 80% the same fragrance. You know, take out a little of the booziness maybe and add in maybe a little BR540, a little bit of sort of dry woodiness. It's really good stuff, just hard to describe the twist on Angel Share. Baroud Sillage, man, this stuff, and you know, compliment magnet that DNA is, and that one's no different. Okay, next. All of the ones from now on are absolute bangers, and many of the ones we've already talked about are. This one is my favorite interpretation of Tom Ford Oud Wood. I've worn this one more than I have any other version of Oud Wood. This is Baroud L'Amissat Oud. And it's just a very smooth, very high quality, luxurious take on Tom Ford Oud Wood. So if you like Oud Wood, you will love this fragrance. I mean, excellent longevity. It's, man, it's a great take on that fragrance, L'Amissat Oud. All right, we're rounding the bend. Oh, and let me mention this, that probably right before or after Dumont Scleroup, I would have put Dumont Pour Homme. It is a, I guess you would say a chypre. It's kind of a barbershop fragrance. It's sort of citrus, aromatic, but then it's got like some woody leatheriness. It's a really great fragrance. It's the one in the brown bottle with sort of the brown leathery wrap. It's an excellent fragrance. I gave it to a very close friend of mine, and he wears it like all the time. I smell it on him every time I'm around him and think, man, I shouldn't have given that away. No, I actually think, man, I'm glad somebody's getting wear out of that because it's really good stuff. That one is excellent. I just don't have it to show you in the video. All right, we're going to keep on moving. And next, boy, it's hard to line these up. They're all so good, but I'm just going to do it. This one is awesome. This is my favorite take on the Nitro Red DNA. This is Nitro White, and it's basically Nitro Red with a huge dose of vanilla. I gave a bottle of this to a friend who is absolutely loving it. He mentions it every time we're around, and I'm telling you, this stuff to me is the pinnacle of the Nitro Red DNA. If you like vanilla, get you some Nitro White. All right, next. This one is a take on one of my favorite DNAs, period. I'm talking about Parfums de Marly Carlisle. And this is a very high quality, multi-layered, textured, niche quality take on Carlisle. This is Barou Perdor. This stuff is awesome. Beautiful, mysterious, chocolatey patchouli with some spice, and man, it's good. Good bit of sweetness as well. It's a perfect night out fragrance. Again, Barou Perdor. This was the first of, maybe the first Dumont fragrance that I was familiar with was Barou Perdor. All right, where do we go next? It's so tough to decide. I don't know. I'm just going to go here. This one is probably my favorite of all of their Invictus fragrances I've tried. I think I've tried 5. This is Barou Spiritus. It's the Baroud take on Invictus, and it's just kind of straight down the line Invictus. Maybe a touch of the patchouli nature of Hasavat in the base of this. But if you love Invictus, you'll love this. If you like Hasavat, same deal. It's so good. High quality, long-lasting Barou Spiritus. All right, next up. Wow, how do I choose? It's like trying to choose between my 4 beautiful children. Okay, let's just do this. All right, this is a gorgeous take on BR540, the EDP, not the X-Straight. This is Traidor Celestia. I've been wearing this more than any other BR540 clone the past couple months since I got it. It's just so good. I mean, it's high quality, long lasting. I'm particularly sensitive to BR540. I smell it all day, and this is one that all day long you're going to smell that goodness. Traidor Celestia. All right, next. Man, this one's really good. This is a twist on Herba Pura. I told you earlier, I don't like straight Herba Pura. But you take Herba Pura and mix it with some BR540, which brings the sweetness down. It just kind of levels it out a little bit, gives it a little bit of that airy, transparent feel. I love this stuff. This is, again, Barou Mysterious, and it is a mysterious, sexy, alluring fragrance. It's very powerful, and it has such an impact that it's very situational. Like, I can't think of a lot of places to wear it, but I wear it around the house. This stuff is incredible. Barou Mysterious. We only got 3 left, guys. We are rounding the bend. I don't even know what to do here, but we're just going to grab one. This is by far my favorite interpretation of Bulgari Tiger. This is Bravano Vestige or Vestige, and it is just, again, I keep using this word, but it's a thick, weighty, it smells like the color of this bottle, that rich, bright green. It smells like this, but there's more sweetness than the other couple dupes I have of Tiger, and it's just more rich, and that citrus green sweet magic in the opening of Tiger, it lasts for 3 times as long in this one. The other dupes I have, I doubt I'll ever wear them again. This stuff is so good. And I didn't tell you, these Bravano fragrances are Extrait de Parfum. So they're all incredible. And I think what I'll have to do next is I'll mention this one. This is, if you have tried Nishane 100 Silent Ways, a gorgeous vanilla iris fragrance, This one is kind of like that fragrance. This is Tresor Mystique, and it's a gorgeous fragrance with some iris, maybe a little bit of BR540. It's got the same sort of impact, you know, just the wow factor of 100 Silent Ways, but it's not as sweet. I think there is some vanilla in here, but where vanilla is a main player in the Nishane, here it's more of, you know, third fiddle or something like that. But if you like iris, this is a great one to get a hold of, Tresor Mystique. And finally, I think, I'll rethink this tomorrow and put them in a different order because there are honestly so many of them are so good. This one's probably my favorite. This is a mashup of two of my favorite fragrances, Mancera Red Tobacco and Carlisle Parfums de Marly that I mentioned earlier. This is Bravano Baron. And somehow this Extrait de Parfum fragrance mixes the best of both of those fragrances. And if you like either of them, then you will love this. It's got the tobacco power of red tobacco, but without the harsh kind of oudy, ashy opening. And it's got that rich, spicy, sweet, mysterious patchouli from Carlisle. This stuff is awesome. Bravano Baron. And so that has been, I don't know, I can't remember if it was 28 or 30 if you count the two that I added in, but that's a whole mess of Dumont fragrances. And I want to tell you how you can enter to win a couple of them. Or one of them, but I'm going to give you a couple to choose from. So the ones that are up for grabs are Bravano Converge, the take on Cologne, and the Solario Elisium, the Ormond Jane Mon Tobacco. All you've got to do is be sure you're subscribed to the channel, you've got to like the video, and you've got to comment down below and tell me which one of these fragrances that you would like to win. And in about a week, I will post on my community tab who the winner is. I will not message you down below. I will not ask you for money. I will pay for shipping, but unfortunately, it's US addresses only. So if you're in the US, subscribe, like, comment, tell me which you would like to win, and I will mail it out to you. Scammers will try to get you to send them money and respond. They may even steal my YouTube logo, but it ain't me. I will announce you in the community tab in a week. I hope you enter, hope you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. This is Justin, and Sillage Scents.